There is less than a week before our friends arrive for a working holiday, and we don't currently have anywhere for them to sleep. The room they're going to be staying in needs to be cleansed from top to bottom, and they will be using a bathroom that doesn't have a working toilet, bath or shower. We have a lot of work to do before then, and I have all the motivation of someone who really just wants to drink cocktails whilst floating around in a swimming pool. It was Monday, and I had reassured Jane that the shower could be finished by Friday. You know, it's this kind of bravado that gets me into trouble every time. The tiling started off at a steady pace. I, of course, wanted to get it right first time and therefore wasn't going to rush the job. I had all the time in the world, so much so that I didn't start tiling until after 7 p.m.
I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's really beautiful. Yeah, it's great. I love the colour.
Hello! Hello!
Hello, this is Escarpin, and I'm always going to try him in a second. We're going to walk.
We're going on a little horse ride because Escarpin is a horse that is up for sale. So we might be buying him. This is the horse Jane is going to be riding. A very beautiful coloured little pony. We don't know her name, but she's a sweet little thing.
Just doing a big pile of poo.
Escarpin has just done a big pile of poo apparently. Hello! How are you doing?
Always once a day.
A champagne pony. Palomino. What's your horse's name? Your pony's name? I know.
Have you seen?
Yeah, maybe. I'm sitting on Escarpin. riding a horse. On Tuesday I was getting into a groove. The tiles were going on in a steady stream, but I was still taking it easy. To be perfectly honest, I find tiling a bit of a chore. It's messy and stressful. I can procrastinate for hours before starting, and I always seem to end up to my elbows in adhesive. When we finally get around to digging a swimming pool, I'm definitely not tiling it. You can get so much more done in a montage. You can't tell, but I've just had a cup of tea.
We interrupt your programme with this news flash. Earlier in the year, we reported on a woman who had been seen wearing socks with sandals. I'm afraid to say that this woman is a repeat offender and has been spotted not only wearing the aforementioned footwear, but this time combined with leather effect, skin-tight trousers. When asked about her crimes, the lady replied, "I was in my own home and I would never go out like this." However, we all know that crimes like this lead to further crimes.
Good afternoon. Jane is here in the smelly bathroom, which we're going to rename soon because it's not smelly anymore. Jane's doing some wallpaper stripping, which is long overdue. We've been meaning to strip the wallpaper off properly for a long time, and there's always something else to do, like having another cup of tea. But Jane's doing that. She's been all the way around here, and we've found that there's been some really dodgy plaster work done here, in that the wall had been skimmed on top of an old finished layer, but without any preparation, and so it just basically fell off. So that'll need to be prepped before being filled and possibly replastered in certain places. So over where Jane's standing is where we're going to have, flicking my finger past the lens, we're going to have the toilet there. So Jane would probably be standing with 1 foot in the toilet. That's that. Now she's got 2 feet in the toilet. And over here, we're going to have the bath. And we have just discovered a problem in that also where Jane is standing, it's above the stairwell of the back stairs, which means that there's not enough of a gap under the floor before it gets to the ceiling below for me to get a proper toilet waste pipe in there. So we've got to think slightly sideways, in that we're going to have to take the waste pipe around this wall, partially under the window, and then down into the floor, which means I'm going to have to do some boxing in. But that's okay. It'll all look lovely when it's finished. It's just a little bit more work than I was expecting to have to do, especially as we have some helper visitors coming in about a week and they are going to want a bathroom to use, and we're hoping that there'll be a toilet, a shower, and of course the existing basins in this room for them to use when they arrive. So I actually shouldn't be standing here talking to you, I should be doing some work. Toodle pip. It was Thursday. There was still 2/3 of the tiling still to do, and I'd promised Jane I'd have the bloody thing finished by Friday. Squeaky bum time. The hard work was done. We were on the home stretch until... There is an ancient wooden beam running along the bottom of this wall, which is underneath where the bath used to be, and so the main bath tap was here. The spout for the bath was here. The taps were on the side. And I don't know if perhaps there has been a long-standing drip. But anyway, Jane noticed when she was stripping off the wallpaper that this looked a bit woodwormy. So she, poked a finger in to investigate and realised here it's very spongy. So, oh gosh, that's really bad. And then she poked here and realised that it's just paper. It's paper thin. It's completely rotten through. And this could be a major concern because we don't know if it's supporting or what it is really. I mean, the most we can hope for is that it's not actually important. But if it is important, it's going to have to be replaced, because I'm imagining that even if it's not woodwormed all the way through, that there's probably been wet rot, and I think it's going to need some investigation. The wall hasn't fallen down, and it doesn't actually appear to be cracked, which raises the hope that perhaps either there's enough of the wood left to keep supporting it for now, or it's not supporting anyway. However, we're not doing the bath before our guests arrive. We're just trying to get a toilet and a shower in this room, so this can in fact wait. But it is a bit of a worry. Welcome to Jane's Find of the Day with Jane.
Hello and welcome to this week's Find of the Day at Chateau de Pican. Today we're going to be talking about cherubs. We've talked quite a lot about cherubs because the previous owners loved cherubs in all their forms, shapes and sizes, made of gold, made of pewter, made of plaster, made of plastic, all different kinds, but these seem to be particularly special. So this little fellow, when you look him up, he is described as a puto, which is the Italian word for cherub. And he has been created out of wood and painted, and he is following a design by a famous Rococo German artist who worked in the 18th century making altarpieces out of lime wood. So this we think is one of his designs, or was meant to look like one of his designs. It's a little cherub wearing or playing with a cardinal's hat, and you can see that he's got wings and he's on a cloud and he's got a sweet little face. I found several of these little wooden statues online, and they're very similar, same design but painted slightly differently. The faces are slightly different, so they haven't come out of one factory or anything like that. They've been created to copy the same image, but they've all been done slightly differently. And then we've got this little fellow next to him, who I think is even more charming. He's got an adorable little face. He really looks like a child playing an instrument to me. Again, he's got the wings and he's got a hook, so I think he would have been hung up maybe for Christmas, or perhaps originally on an altarpiece, I don't know. I assume they're reproductions, but absolutely beautifully rendered, quite delicate. I mean, just touching them, paint's coming off. That's all I've done, is pick them up and touch them. So yeah, the paint is delicate, but they really are rather special.
With the tiling finished, it was just a quick hop and a jump to the finish line. Once all the tiles are grouted, the shower screen can be built and fitted. Then it's just installing the shower valve and plumbing it in. Once that's done, I just have to seal it all up with silicone. It's like 10 minutes work, 30 tops. What comes after squeaky bum time? This job calls for some 80s style hero music. It's 7:15 on Friday evening, and I told Jane that I'd have the shower done by Friday. And I don't think I have. I think I've failed. I've got most of the shower screen on, but I've got too much else to do tonight, so I'm not going to put the doors on tonight. I'm going to do the doors tomorrow. I'm going to put the shower valve and shower head on themselves tomorrow as well, because I want to actually give the grout a bit more time to dry off before I mess around too much with it. But I think we're looking really good. It's in a really good state, really good position to get to on a Friday, knowing that our guests are coming in less than a week. They're coming on Thursday next week, which gives us 6 days. Is that right? 5 days.
5 days. They come in the morning, aren't they?
Okay, they come in 5 days. But that's fine. Tomorrow the shower will be finished. And then I'm working on the toilet. Well, I'm not working on the toilet, working on installing the toilet. And then once they're done, we're in a good position. Apart from the hole in the wall / floor / rotten bit of wood over there down by underneath the camera. And there's Bunty. Anyway, happy Friday, everybody. The moment that perhaps none of you have been waiting for.
So, in terms of what they might be worth, what I forgot to say was the artist's name, who worked in Bavaria in creating these altarpieces, is called Günther. Just forgot to say that. This fellow has got his price tag on, which is rather interesting. So I can only assume he was bought in an antique shop. In terms of when he was bought, there are some clues. There's a German word on his label, and the spelling of it, I believe, was deprecated, that's to say officially replaced in Germany in 1996. So, one would think this is before 1996 that this was bought, and there's a price on here. It says 324, I'm assuming that's 324 Deutschmarks, because in the 1990s it would still have been Deutschmarks in Germany. And if he was bought in 1990, 324 Deutschmarks today would be worth about 300 euros. I mean, he was expensive then, he's expensive, he would be expensive now. This little fellow, I haven't been able to find one who looks exactly like him, but I found similar ones and they seem to be selling for about 150. So I would guess the pair, if they're not too delicate with their paint, could be worth 400 or 500 euros or dollars.
Rory has worked really hard this week and the shower is nearly done and looks fab. He lost half a day removing the radiator under the window ready for the toilet waste. In case you're wondering, the barbecue has also come on leaps and bounds, but we've run out of time to show you. Until next time.